What's up, Hobby Maniacs? Rob Bear here today with another exciting 40K flashback. Today we're going to take a look at an awesome retro Space Marine box set. This is kind of the RTB-01 box, not quite. It's not the box that came out in 1988, the Rogue Trader box. I actually don't have that, but I do have this one. It was kind of like a reprint or a re-release that Games Workshop did around 1991 or 1992 before they actually were able to produce plastic Marines on sprue for the first time, which we didn't see for actually quite some time. But this box was kind of like a re-release to try to get people into it before they came out with second edition 40K and all the codexes, and then, you know, the Marines standing there that are like kind of holding the bolters, you know, across their chests in kind of like that mono pose that's so iconic, I guess, for the period. But these guys were kind of close to that, you know, in the early 90s, and I think this box is actually copyrighted in 1991 if I'm not mistaken. But it's a smaller box. You can tell kind of you know, how I'm holding it here. It's not something that you would see on the shelves these days. This was kind of the I guess they called it the Space Marine box or Epic 40K box size, because you used to be able to get Epic boxes or Epic units in something right about the same size back in the day. Like you would get a whole squad of Land Raiders or Razorbacks or something like that, or 100, you know, little Space Marines on their little stands for Epic would come in something like this. But this box is only good enough to hold 10 regular 28mm size Space Marines these days. Now, currently we're hearing that there's going to be possibly some sort of exclusive available on Space Marine Day, April 16th, 2016. And one of the rumors out there is that it's going to be a reprint or a re-release of the classic RTB-01 sprues, which are what's inside this box, actually. So I thought maybe we'd take a look at these and kind of compare them to some of the Calth stuff that's out there, you know, because they basically, Calth is Mark IV, which is, you know, technically Rogue Trader era, you know, pre-Hersey or Hersey era stuff, depending on, you know, what you want to call it. So today we're going to dive right in to some of my retro collection here, and there they are, the little tan RTB-01 sprues. Now this is a 10-man box set. It came with the accessory sprue right here, which we'll zoom in on a little bit. And you can kind of see here, well, you know, back in the day, it wasn't exactly the best looking stuff. But you can also see where Forge World gets their inspiration from for some of their heavy weapons, like the rocket launcher, the flamethrower, which looks like a kind of silly paintball gun, I guess, from back in the day, or I suppose they're called markers, I'm sorry. And then you've got this Power Fist here, which the right-handed Power Fist was actually the only bit for about 20 years or so that was a right-handed Power Fist, believe it or not. And then a spare bolter, a bolt pistol, and some other just random arms for different things, and some rocket extra ammunition that you could basically glue to the bottom legs of one of the Space Marines. So that was the accessory sprue. That's our old school accessory sprue right there. And then it also came with five of the identical RTB-01 sprues, which, you know, you look at this and you're like, oh, that's cute. Because it is. I mean, this thing for its time is actually groundbreaking. 1988, I think, you know, you take a look at this thing and I'm sure it's these ones are copyrighted in 1991, but this is the same exact thing from 1988. I don't know why they recopyrighted it, but this is the RTB-01 sprue. And I mean, it's a cool looking sprue for the year it came out. This was groundbreaking shit right here, folks. This is what the hobby was made from. You know, this is the good stuff. And you look back at it 30 years from now, or, you know, 30 years previous, and you're like, yo, that's junky. But man, 30 years ago, I was pretty junky looking, you know what I mean? So like, you can't really, I don't feel like you can really compare stuff like that. And it's kind of funny when you can actually take a look at this and compare it to some miniatures that are being produced today, and you're like, that doesn't look any better or worse than some stuff I've seen in the past like 2 to 3 years. And that's even funnier, I feel like. But, you know, that being said, this was, like I said, man, this this was some groundbreaking shit back in the day. So you got your two legs, which would kind of give you a little bit of variety of poses. This is kind of the squat pose leg, so a lot of people would take their power fist and kind of power fist into the air kind of thing, because he's like squatting down, like tiger uppercutting, before there was even a tiger uppercut, I suppose. And then you had your two torsos, your two backpacks here, your two beaky heads, because everybody was beaky back in the day. And then this really cool kind of attachment that would go on the bolter, kind of like Gears of War style. And then a couple of combat knives, some pouches and things, and then of course your bolter arms right there. And that was it. It was literally that simple. That's all you get. That's all, folks. Lots and lots of the same looking guys over and over again. So the question is, how does this compare to, you know, what could GW do with the new Calth sprue technology, the new resin to plastic to retro to plastic, I guess, kind of technology that they're doing now? And that's an interesting question. So let's take a look and kind of see how this sprue stacks up to something like the Betrayal at Calth. So here's the Betrayal at Calth sprues, right? So you've got these guys right here, which, you know, it's the full-on normal size sprue that we're all used to. It's all computerized layout in here, like maximum efficiency, not laid out by hand, you know, before the era of computers, like right here. And you can kind of tell, I mean, stuff is similar. The legs are definitely similar. You know, the bolter arms are still similar. You've got the pads right here that are, yes, they're similar, but I feel like they're only almost similar in, I guess, inspiration in design, not really the quality, I guess you could say. So there's the missile launcher even, and you can tell where they get that inspiration from, right? It's all right there. There's that, and then you got the flamer, which is running around here somewhere on one of these sprues. I don't know exactly which one, because there's so many. Actually, the new kit is 3 sprues. You might not actually get a flamer, do you? I don't remember. Oh, there it is. It was on right in front of my face. If it was a snake, I'd be dead. So there's a flamer right there. Also, you can kind of tell very, very inspirational as well, with the whole, like, you know, flamer canister kind of Promethean thing right down like that. So, you know, I think you can see from this comparison that, you know, Games Workshop really could take something like this, convert it over to our Mark 6 Beaky, and make it kind of a limited edition thing, or excuse me, they don't do limited edition anymore, exclusive thing. And we've seen that in the past. You know, people are like, yo, they'd never do a box set and put it in their own stores, and you'd only be able to buy it in their own stores. But hey, riddle me this. Think about that Command Rhino and that Command Land Raider kit that's only available at Warhammer World. Now, granted, that's a lot more expensive kit, right? But that being said, when you get a kit that might be a $30 or $40 price point as opposed to a $100 price point, now you're talking. You can move more of those. So now that, you know, you start seeing the dollar signs, and I can see where that would definitely be appealing to Games Workshop. And I'll tell you what, I hope that they give these things out to every local game store, as well as also the GW stores, to give everybody the ability to go in. You know, they're making all these moves. They're helping, you know, organize play now. They're asking for folks to help with their FAQ. So I really feel like they are really trying to move the hobby forward. So it'd be very sad to see them take that step back and say, hey, no, whatever we're doing, this is only exclusive for our stores, when, you know, it's a whole big Space Marine celebration in general. So hopefully they don't do that. And they didn't with the 25th anniversary figure. They actually allowed those to get purchased, and they were limited quantities. I think they were like 5 to 10 a store by all the independent stockists that, you know, I guess were in, you know, good standing or whatever, or made an order that week. I don't exactly know the exact parameters, but I knew they were available from independent stockists. So that's what I hope to see here coming in the near future. And, you know, it would definitely be cool to see the comparison when, you know, you could take this and put it up to its actual counterparts, you know, maybe some Mark 6 kind of plastics here in the near future. But for now, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the 40K flashback of the week.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.